SaaS, which stands for software as a service, is one of the most lucrative business model opportunities on the internet. There are endless companies that have sold for 8 or 9 or probably even 10 figures. And the business model is great because there's no physical product, there's no humanly fulfilled service, meaning higher profitability. It has great potential for recurring revenue, and the list goes on. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Chris M. Walker. I am the CEO and founder of Legiit.com, the world's only B2B growth engine that combines AI software and human freelance talent to give businesses access to everything they need to grow and scale, and Superstar SEO, a 7-figure SEO brand. I also own 4 SaaS products. And here's the thing, despite having a degree in computer programming, I don't know how to code. Now, as I mentioned, SaaS is one of the most lucrative business model opportunities on the internet, but there's one problem. You need to be able to code to build the SaaS, the software. Or do you? The truth is, I don't know how to code. I took programming in college, but I don't know how to do the simplest stuff now. And I own 4 software businesses or 4 software tools. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I do that. Now, first, let me talk about my SaaS products. I want to walk you over what the 4 of them are so you kind of get an understanding of what we're talking about. We have Legiit Leads, legitleads.com, a lead generation tool for agencies. We have audit.io, an SEO on-page competition analysis tool. We have snapped.io, a linked shortener on steroids. And we have the Legiit dashboard, which is part of Legiit.com's B2B Growth Engine, which tracks your website and your business's progress and health. I own all 4 of these, but I couldn't code Hello World to save my life. Now, if you're wondering how, well, the short answer is I paid developers, I bought them, or I bought the software, or I partnered up with someone to build them. Now, before you click off this video, let me tell you, you probably don't need as much money as you think to start a SaaS, a software as a service, or in fact, none at all. So let's take a look at how that's possible. How to own a SaaS without coding. If you want to own a SaaS, software as a service, without coding it yourself, there are 5 real options. Pay a developer, find a technical co-founder, buy an existing SaaS, raise funds to get investors and so on. And then there are no code options, which we'll talk about in a minute. I've got experience with the first 3 options, and we're going to talk a little bit about all of them. Fundraising works too, but it's not really my preference because I like to own all of my businesses. That doesn't mean it's wrong, but personally, the reason I got into business was to be my own boss. And when you're getting VC money or other types of investors on board, it takes away from that because you have to answer to their needs. No code, in my opinion, is just as hard as trying to learn to code. So it's not something I persistently tried. I found that no code isn't really mean no code. It just means a different type of code. There are no code tools out there that include bubble.io, but there's just a huge learning curve, which I'm assuming you're trying to avoid because you clicked this video. So which one of these options is the best? It really just depends on your situation and various factors such as the cost to develop the SaaS you want to build, how much available funds you already have, your network, your skills, and so on. For example, if you don't have any available funds, it might be best to find a technical co-founder or even raise funds by building a pitch deck and pitching to investors. I have a technical co-founder on Legiit.com, for example. Of course, when you look for a technical co-founder, you always want to bring something to the table like marketing, getting customers, etc. For example, when I partnered with Jim, my technical co-founder, I already had an audience for Legiit and could focus on the marketing and growth side. You can also find some great existing SaaS businesses to buy on platforms like Acquire or Flippa or Empire Flippers. And if you're smart about how you generate revenue, you can recoup that money you spend extremely quickly. SaaS companies usually sell at a 5x annual revenue multiples. So for example, if a SaaS business is making $1 million a year, usually it will sell for about $5 million. However, for smaller companies making under 10K a month, that number is often more like 3 or 4x. It really just depends. That means if you wanted to buy a company generating $500 a month, you'd be spending $10,000 to $20,000. Of course, it varies, and it depends on your negotiating skills and some other factors. Now, with some of the tips we'll talk about later on, you can recoup a majority of this very, very quickly, which makes it even more lucrative. But we'll talk about more ways to produce revenue in just a second. Now, there's some things you should think about and some precautions when owning a SaaS without being able to code. There's a few things that I want you to be sure that you look out for. First is decision making. If you can't code, but want to develop a new feature, it can get tricky. You have practically no idea how hard or how easy it is to develop something is to develop. And this can make decision-making a lot more difficult and impact how you prioritize tasks. My suggestion is to get familiar with the basics of whatever coding language your platform or your software is going to be built on. This is also something that I did, which has helped me better understand what's possible and what isn't. I took the time to learn a little bit of Laravel, which is what one of my softwares is built in, so I could talk to the developers and know what to expect. The next thing to consider is bugs and general fixes. I want you to picture this. You're running your software, you're making however much money you want to make, but suddenly there's an issue with a third-party platform that you built a tool for. For example, Instagram, Google, or X/Twitter. Now you have to change the way your tool is built to fit their guidelines. But you don't know how to code and you don't have a developer ready. So you first need to find one. But in all that time, your users would unsubscribe and you'd have a great big problem that you might not be able to come back from. This is why it makes sense to contingency map and also have someone in your team, i.e. a co-founder or developer, who has a technical understanding. If you don't, fixing bugs and issues that come up can become much bigger problems than they really have to be. Those are the main things I want you to look out for, but as with any business, it really just depends on the business as well. So let's talk about how we make money or how to generate cash flow quickly with a SaaS. As mentioned earlier, I want to talk to you through some of the methods to generate cash with your software faster. This can be especially useful if you're on a tight budget and just bought a SaaS or pay to get one developed, as it can really help you recoup a lot of your cash quickly. The first one is AppSumo and other lifetime deal sites. Offering lifetime deals can be a quick way to get the cash back that you spent on hiring a developer or buying a SaaS. For example, let's say your regular subscription is $99 a month. You can offer a lifetime deal for maybe $299. This would be a great deal for the customer, and you can use platforms like AppSumo or Legiit to promote the deal. If we break down the math, let's say you sell 50 to 100, you'd be looking at around $15,000 to $30,000 off that one promotion. So it should recoup a significant, if not all of your development costs. Of course, AppSumo charges a commission as well, so you have to factor that in. And if I'm being perfectly honest, they have difficult customers sometimes, so you have to be prepared for that as well. But you can also sell it on different platforms too. And this is just for the easy numbers sake. So just keep that in mind. That's an opportunity, but it has its ups and downs. Other revenue optimization methods that we want to talk about that you can play around with to generate revenue fast. For example, onboarding influencers and offering them extra juicy affiliate commissions to get out there faster. This can help you build your brand awareness and leverage faster. I've been on both sides of this. I've been an affiliate for software, and I've offered an affiliate on my own software. You can also change the pricing structure for them. When done smartly, this can lead to instant revenue increases as well. There's really a lot you can do when it comes to generating revenue with SaaS, which is especially if you bought a tool that might not be doing it well. That's one of the huge advantages to this business model, is that there's just so many opportunities. And once you have the right structure, you can partner with people who have large audiences, run outreach to book demos, and again, play around with lifetime deals to get customers fast and so on. This really is a very versatile business model. And there you have it. Honestly, that is the inside scoop on how to run multiple software companies without touching a line of code. It ultimately comes down to partnering with the right people and finding a way you can do so no matter where you're starting. And if there's one lesson I want you to take away from this, it's that don't let some obstacle that you think that you have keep you from succeeding. You may not know how to code, you may barely know what SaaS stands for, but that doesn't mean you don't have the opportunity and can't get out there and make some money for yourself. So eliminate those limiting beliefs and go out there and make some money. And if software is one of the businesses you want to get into, it doesn't matter if you can code or not. So go out there and do it.